Hello YouTube family and friends. Thank you for joining me in this video. So you want to talk about fat. We're going to talk about fat. We're going to talk about whether you should eat fat to lose weight or not. But before we get into it, I need you to do me a favor and go to the comment section and answer some form of this question. Does low fat help you lose weight, or does fat help you lose weight? Just write a quick what you believe about that right now, and then I'll tell you what I believe and what my results have been. Alright, thank you for doing that. I really need that. Subscriptions, likes, and ringing the bell to make the YouTube algorithm go the way I need it to. So take just a second if you would and do that, and then we'll get into whether you should eat fat to lose weight or not. Maybe you don't know anything about me and just the thumbnail caught your attention. It's a pretty graphic thumbnail. We got the warriors in Kenya and Tanzania, and we've got the average American, Canadian, Western diet belly under the title Healthy Fats. Those are the people that have been eating low fat and doing what their doctor told them to do. They might even have diabetes or type 2 diabetes. And unfortunately, that's the advice that the Western world has been giving people in concern to what we should be eating. I used to see somebody like that out in public, and I thought, wow, why don't they lose weight? Why aren't they doing things right? Come to find out, it's not their fault. It's not your fault if you're overweight. Let me be very clear about that. It is not your fault. Everything you've been told, if you're my age, 55, 60 years old, everything you've been told your entire life by the medical field and the nutritionist has caused you to get like that. So my experience over the last less than a year has been that the more fat I eat, saturated fat I eat, not the hard healthy fat, animal fat. Okay, that's why I titled it Animal Fat for the Maasai warriors, or healthy fat for the standard American, standard Australian, standard Canadian, standard Western diet belly. About last August, a friend of mine and I went to Branson for a week and decided we were going to start on the carnivore diet a little more strictly. She has Crohn's disease, and if you've watched my previous video on losing 40 pounds, you know I had a major health incident several years ago, which caused me to start researching what I should be eating and not just listening to what I consider to be bad advice given by my medical professionals that were treating me immediately thereafter. Little disclaimer here, I am not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist, I am not even a research scientist or an investigative journalist. I just know how to do research, and I know what has happened for me. So I'm going to say, in my experience, saturated fat has been the quote-unquote cure, and polyunsaturated fat, also known as the healthy oils that the medical field and the government tells you to eat if you don't want to have heart disease, are the demon in my life. That's because they have polyunsaturated fats. They are very unstable. They have multiple bonds which can break and grab oxygen, and which causes them to oxidize, which is also what happens in your arteries when your cholesterol starts sticking to the walls. It's because it's oxidized. It's not healthy cholesterol. I don't want to get into in this video whether cholesterol is good, bad, or indifferent, but I do not take statins. The doctor wants me to every time I'm there, but the research has indicated that in my instance, I don't think that's right. And everything I'm saying here is in my instance. It doesn't mean it will apply to you. But I started following the the advice my doctors gave me, and I just gained weight, gained weight, gained weight. That's how I got up to 70 pounds overweight from when I was about 25 pounds overweight when I had the stroke. So I did my own research. I found a channel called Low Carb Down Under, and that had a lot of doctors from all over the world talking about low carb, high fat diets. Then I found one semi-locally that I could actually go to in person. That's Dr. Paul Mabry in Sherman, Texas. He is absolutely wonderful. He agrees with all the doctors on YouTube, even though I know everybody makes fun of internet doctors. In this case, they were more accurate than my in-person doctor, who I still go to a little bit because he's at the local hospital here that's close to me. But personally, I found that eating up to 70 to 80% of my caloric intake per day from saturated fat has been the answer to my weight gain problem, and it has reversed that and caused me to be a weight losing machine. It gives you lots of energy. It potentially can clean out the arteries that are clogged. I'll find out soon. I gotta have a little test on that. And I got on the Verta program, so all my blood numbers are great. Let's not talk about LDL cholesterol yet. Like I say, I'm gonna do another thing on statins and blood lipid panels, but every indicator that medical doctors use for heart disease has gotten better since I got on saturated fat, except for my LDL cholesterol, and there's a huge argument whether that's even a factor or not. But I'm considering that it is not. That every other factor is going in the right direction. If that goes high, I'm okay with it. So yes, you can lower all the cholesterol numbers that the doctors want you to take down if you continue to eat those heart healthy oils, but then you have to go all the way back to the premise of the heart health hypothesis that Ansel Keys came up with, and decide if that hypothesis is accurate or not. And there's more and more and more evidence saying it is not, and it's almost impossible to find any evidence that says it is. And that's basically the hypothesis that says blood cholesterol causes the heart problems. So that's a kind of a scratch in the surface. I'll have to do a deep dive later on, but I don't want this to go too long because on this new camera it will cut me off after a few minutes. I've actually got the kitchen timer set and I haven't heard it buzz yet. So let me take a minute to please encourage you to go to the little symbol in the bottom of the video will take you to the subscribe button. That's my photography company's logo. Click on that and you can subscribe there. Then you can find the little bell to get notified. And then either, if you do me the favor of liking or disliking, I really don't care. I've got 100% likes so far, but for the YouTube algorithm, as long as you do a like or a dislike, they count the same, which I need as many little tick marks in the YouTube algorithm as possible to make this worthwhile in my time that it takes to do these videos, which is kind of labor intensive. And then comment on anything you might want to discuss or want me to discuss in further videos in the comments. And if I changed anything on your thinking of whether you should eat fat or not. Thanks for your time. I will talk to you real soon. God